Looking good, looking good. Keep it up.
Push up, two. Come on, hit him, man. Push up. Run it up. Come on.
Come on, keep going. You're working. Come on, guys. Keep going.
One more. Come on, one more.
Come on. Keep going. Looking good, looking good. Remember to breathe.
10 seconds.
All right, come on. Good. Sit up, let's go.
Your face is like, oh, man.
Yeah, practice.
Yeah.
Pull pokey punches. Keep my job say side stand punches. Go. Fast as you can. Let's go. Come hard. Come on. Punches. Hard. Fast. Let's go. Fast as you can. Just some speed. Oh, nice over here. Come on.
Mr. Lanko. It's good to see you.
Come on. Hard. Come on. Right leg speed front kicks. Right leg speed front kicks. You can do left leg twice. Yeah, there, man. Don't get me in that here. Left leg snap kicks. Go. Come on.
I just started.
We're over a third of the way there. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Burpee! Burpee!
Come on, Michael. Keep moving.
10 seconds.
So?
Leg scissors! Leg scissors! On your back. Leg scissors. Up and down. They should come up and down. Hand comes in the air. You do a push up, the other hand comes in the air. Balance push up.
Gabby, did I just see? Gabby, did you just make a face? That's just not a face.
Right there. We can look for Okay, guys, squat jumps or knee tucks? Squat jumps or knee tucks? Squat jumps or knee tucks? Mr. Yo, okay, whatever you can do. Squat jumps or knee tucks, not burpees. Okay, go ahead, guys. Squat jump. Come on. Let's go. Bring those knees high up in the air, Mr. Gianfitro. Alternating jump front kicks. Hold it, so your legs just running, kick in the air. Go. Come on.
All four. There you go. That's it. Side to side hammer. Come on. Perfect.
No, they got to be running. You got to run when you do this. That's it. Come on. Come on, Mr. Gianfitro. Keep running when you do it. Get those legs up there. Come on. go off the ground on this one. Come on. Okay, let's set jumping jacks. Let's go. Option, jumping forward. Let's Come on, let's go. Everybody.
I need some help with this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Five minutes, and then we're gonna finish out the 10. 5 minutes.
I thought for sure your daughter would wear her.
I think she's talking to you.
Yes.
Yes, and I was working 2 jobs, so it's
Okay, guys, 60 seconds. Go. 60 seconds. Go.
Everybody!
Sir, come on up. Sir. Reach out, hands up to the back straight. Face us to the board. Stand about. Heads over desk count. Ready and go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We'll fit it. Take a deep breath, please.
Sir, sir.
Give yourself some good energy. They seem like they're making a lot of corrections. However, I appreciate the dedication and longevity you have. And I really haven't trained besides training Mr. McGill just a little bit. We're not training anyone here probably about a year. So exceptional. Continue the amazing work that you guys are doing. We're going to do part of the test is you have to demonstrate something that you've learned that Mr. McGill or myself haven't taught. Okay. So take it from there. We'll do most junior up, and then we'll finish with board breaking. That's quite so good, everybody. Why don't we do this? We'll have who's most junior? Mr. Jim Petro? Okay. Everyone else can move off to the side. Mr. Jim Petro, you're up. Thank you. What will you be demonstrating today?
So, testers, today I was planning on demonstrating an MMA style presentation with one of my coaches that I've been working with for about a year and a half now. Unfortunately, he woke up this morning very sick. You might have to go to the hospital later, I'm not sure. So, instead, I'm going to work on a Muay Thai presentation.
Excellent. Do you need a bag set up or anything?
For Muay Thai, a lot of the emphasis is on body conditioning. So, for my presentation, I'm going to be working on a break. Specifically a break with my head. I'll ask Master Klein.
Yes, sir.
He's not tying his shoes. To help me by holding two of the things.
Yeah, that's much better. Set me however you want me.
Sir. Yeah, make sure those are. If they're not, you can go for it. Smash it straight.
Nice!
Thank you. I apologize that wasn't the one.
What I'd like him to do once your MMA coach gets well, let's keep him in thoughts and prayers once it's back. Not a time frame on this, but we'll like it within the next 3 months. Maybe I get Mr. McGill so he can videotape you and your coach doing something maybe what you were going to present maybe on a Saturday.
Yes, sir.
And tape it for me and then send it to me.
Sir.
So make sure your coach is in good health when that happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
So we look forward to seeing that presentation. Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Knowlton. Yes, sir.
Board, I have been working with Sifu Frank in Kung Fu. So I'm going to present a form called Salim Dao. And then after the form, I'm going to ask Sifu to come up and we can demonstrate different aspects of that form for you.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Very good.
Salim Dao. Board. Seafood. So the first that I'm going to demonstrate was the first part of that form was this here. So what this is actually it's a defense against a kick. So we're going to do both sides with Sifu, so you can see how the leg's going to move the kick out of the way and put me in a position to serve. The other aspect was this coming down in the form. What this is actually defense against. So. And right after that was another defense against the choke where it comes up. And what you saw a lot of was this praying mantis. So this is actually going to be a defense. So we're going to do two parallel defenses, which is going to be the same side punch. One's going to be a straight punch. The other is going to be a round punch. Then we're going to do two cross defenses with this. Again, a straight and a round punch. Thank you.
I think that a lot of people forget when you're doing forms. I know when I first started, I just thought it was sequence of motions. You're just doing a form, but it's all, Holly Gusto said, when you do a form, do it like somebody's attacking you, and really focus on the forms. I think you did a great job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very good. Very nice. Thank you. Karen?
So I decided to study the art of Eskrima. I chose this because I really like how it is like an art with constant motion in it. You can do it with one stick, you can do it with two sticks, you can do it with a partner or just by yourself. And I think that's all really cool with all like the fundamentals and then building up into like broader concepts like we do with our forms. So the first part that anyone will teach you when you're learning Eskrima is that you always want to hold it about one fist length away from the bottom. And then the second thing would be where the power for the strike comes from, which is all from the hips, just like when we do our punches. I want to turn in as I do my strike. That's going to help me get a better strike. And then to defend against the strike, we have our blocks. There is the vertical block and there's the diagonal block. I like the diagonal block the best because you can easily do a counter strike. So I'm going to have Master Miguel come all the way over here. Hey, come on, my strike. So the first flow that we're going to do is just, it's kind of like a conversation in between partners. There's no disarms. Master Miguel in a second is going to strike towards me. I'm going to block with my hand, come around, and then I would do the same thing at him. We're just going to like talk back and forth. So as soon as it meets, I block one, I come over two, and I pull in, and then I would swing at him. And he does the same thing on that side. And keep going back and forth, just like that. When we are doing strikes especially, it's important to always remember to reach aim with a stick. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is just a high-low. We want to make sure that after every strike, we strike, it comes out before it comes back up to the strike. So it comes through chamber, and then we can go back up, and then back down. Just like that. We can go up, just like that. And now when we add in double sticks, would you mind grabbing this? When you do double stick, you always, whenever strike I do on my right side, I can always replicate it on my left side. So if we did the high lows, we go high and low, then up to the shoulder, high low. And then we do a double stick. And as we get more comfortable with these strikes, Master Miguel will keep doing two sticks, but I can go back to one stick. And I can go back into two sticks. Now another level to this is if I did my Sinawali on one side. This rechambering is very important because if you don't, you're going to end up twisting up your sticks, and that's just going to be a whole mess. So top stick, bottom stick, switch. Top, bottom, switch. And keep going, having that conversation with your partner. Now, the other part to working with partners is working on disarm. So the first thing, Master McGill's going to swing straight towards my head. I can block it with my hand if I'm just using a single stick. And then I would strike at his arm, come up, and disarm it just like that. The other thing I can do is with 2 sticks, I block 1, swing a little bit, come under as I block 2, strike, and disarm just like that. I'm going to do it one more time. Block, switch, strike, disarm. And then we're going to do one more flow. So the first flow that we did, both partners were doing the same thing. If you want to level it up a little bit, we have flows that it's A side and B side. So we're both doing different things. So the first 3 strikes that we're going to do are going to be the same. High, low, across, and then Master McGill is going to swing at me. I'm going to block 1. I swing at him, and he swings at me one more time. Then I'm going to swing at him. So 1, 2, 3. I strike at him. He strikes at me, and then I strike down just like that. Then I would back to A side. And you just go back and forth with your partner. Just like that. That's my presentation.
You should think about doing this full time. Just saying.
Alright, thinking about it, man.
So before I get fully into my presentation, I already prepared to introduce the entire testing board. And Machinato decided when he started in full Machinato fashion, immediately drove directly into it. And what Machinato is really good at is recognizing the martial arts reason why I was here. The thing that I've learned in my experience, and you even taught this to me, is that when I walk up to the average person and say, yeah, they're a 7th degree black belt, everyone goes, okay. Unless you're in the martial arts world really deeply, it's kind of hard for that not to become white noise. So I want to introduce this moment to the testing board and 3 of the testers that are here. I think it's a very profound moment for our school. Is the 30-year anniversary of our organization and this location. That's a long time. I've been here since 2001, and they still can't get rid of me. And I just want to really appreciate that this test, you see we have this amazing testing board. When I was training and starting out, every single one of them was there every day. I remember, and I recently posted a bunch of photos of them, pre-master for most of them. Some of them have earrings. Now here's the thing. All right. This moment is a beautiful moment where we see 4 people testing for a Kadambra level rank, 4 to 6, who are also all like instructed in one way or another at our school. Getting the history of that. That's a really beautiful, amazing thing. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my first martial arts instructor. This is Dinoto. Hilarious. She was doing a daycare program at the Goddard School. And for some reason, I really liked martial arts. I was 3 years old and a menace. And my parents went, Dylan, go do something. Go bother someone else. And I did. She used to hide from me. It's totally fine. But if you're ever wondering, hey, there's somebody who, like, you're martial arts, you're going through this experience, like, at no point during that 24, like, however many years journey, would anyone have guessed I am who I am today? Like, my guess is 3-year-old me did not look like me at all. 8-year-old me, not even close. 18-year-old me, annoying. Also, not even close. Then, the reason why basically all of us are here in one way or another, some of them, Master Dinoto. All of you are actively training. If you are one of my students, there is no way in which Master Dinoto has not impacted you because I've known him for so long. I cannot separate the parts of my being and who I am from the things that Master Dinoto has poured in and myself. I have been here for that long. And a lot of the things you hear me say are not mine. I steal from people who were better at it than I am or farther up the chain. And genuinely, the only reason I'm a martial arts instructor as opposed to anything else is I was going into education. One day, Master Dinoto looked at me and said, "Wait, have you ever thought about being a martial arts instructor?" And I asked him, "I need you to show me everything you know about running a martial arts school. I actually don't really care how much you pay me." And he kept true to his promise. Who else is over here?
We'll both into that. I didn't pay you.
Sir, it's in your, we all know. There's a reason I clean the bathroom now. Now, Mr. Dana Feltzer. Mr. Dana Feltzer was learning in Master Plan. I remember the day many years ago where they were a part of, I was just after classes and I was 17 years old. And they were part of me learning the last section of Jindo. I didn't even know it existed. And they were just like, we're going to have this, like, we're just going to stay and practice Jindo is what we're going to do. And it was like a really beautiful conversation. It was one of those moments that helped me, like, switch from the role of, like, I am just a student to, like, I am in the culture of, like, nothing for nothing. If you're under the age of 18, the culture that you're going through, like, you're going through this transition of, like, the adult martial arts world versus what you're doing as a kid. And, like, that was a huge moment for me going through it. Master Gabermenon, I believe her entire family started training 6 months before mine did, something like that. And the best thing was her. First of all, Master Gabermenon trains every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning. Master Gabermenon very much could look at me as a young instructor or as a person who outranks me and goes, "I'm not doing that." She's there every day, and I genuinely, most of our younger, like teenage students, do not train as hard as Master Gabermenon. And one of the most important moments in my journey as a becoming martial arts instructor, I remember vividly one day, I can't remember if it was pre or post COVID, but Master Gabermenon came up to me and said a sentence that was to the tune of, "You know, Master, I love when you teach the 9:45 class. I love when you do it. I love coming to class every time you're there." And for me, the people who taught that class usually were Master Dinoto, Master Pag, and Master Luciano. And so to hear that sentence, like, it helped me transition the way I was thinking of myself when teaching adults, which is a really hard thing to do at 19 or 20 or 21. Because I may have more martial arts years, but like 80% of the audience is older than me. For Master Luciano and I have been on the like front lines of like the past 5 or 6 years of the school. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say there are some days when we look at each other and we get really cranky with each other. I think there's also days where we look at each other and go, "Oh, thank God." What I will say is, if you want to hear a story of a person who has learned the most of the martial arts and really like tries to grow and change and become something constantly that's better, I would look at Master Luciano. You know, your story, not to share it for everyone else, grew up in the Bronx, more or less left the Bronx on a train. Was it a train or a bus?
Bus.
On a bus, even worse. Somehow makes it to Florida, becomes a construction worker, then goes into ballet. Right, Gangs of the Bronx, ballet. Somehow gets to Germany. I'm missing a couple of steps for time's sake. Starts doing martial arts all throughout, and somehow has ended up in Mount Laurel, which is not the Bronx. Teaching martial arts for the past, you started teaching here in 99, 98? 99. Master Pagrick, genuinely, like as a martial artist all the way to, he was about, I'm not going to do the math, but 16, 17 when I was like 8, 9, 10.
16, I started this year at the same time you started. 2001.
Explains a lot. Now, I have for the longest time tried to be as a martial artist and as like a person emulating things that Master Tiger does. And full disclosure, I've met a lot of people in this industry. I recognize that I am very privileged. I sat next to Grandmaster Ernie Ray Sr. and we pulled up to the front of like a national conference and like stood next to him and Hunter Kovar the day like weekend he was earning his 9th grade. I get more uncomfortable standing next to Master Tiger in his shadow than when I stand next to Mr. Kovar, which I recognize probably is insane. But genuinely, like I put him on a similar level, and although I do like refer to Mr. Kovar as like a dear like martial arts industry friend, not the same thing. And so just like genuinely, if I found out when I was scheduling the test he wasn't going to be able to sit on the board, probably mistake. Just be honest with you, and not told actually not allowed to. Master Klein is 100% the reason why I fell in love with traditional forms. That is one of the things I think sets me apart of a lot of martial arts these days. Most martial arts nowadays think forms are nonsense. In fact, for my actual presentations, I'd like to point out both you and the testing board took away some of my talking points. So I'm going to have to read you those on the test. Thank you, sirs. Don't worry, you still introduced the second half of it, so we're good. Now, Master Klein has always spent that time like town. I'm going to let him say who I am. So, the rest of the testers, I'm going to go from left to right. Ah! If you're wondering why Matt and I are like, we both skip the same person on the line. I am sorry, Master Civitillo. Master Civitillo is the first instructor I ever worked with, like as an instructor that was training her. And so anything that she does right, give credit to her because she's a lot sharper at it than I was, a lot nicer. And anything they're like, wow, she can do better, probably my fault. She ran the summer camps with me as a counselor for like 4 years and then took over them. I want to point out the summer camps are a different beast than teaching martial arts class. It is a difficult experience. I've worked at outdoor summer camps. I put in more hours there. One day in a summer camp here, because you don't change the kids, like you don't change who you're seeing, very different. Very different level of commitment. And I'd like to point out she was one of my people who was here during the COVID summer camp. I have no idea how the kids had fun when they could only sit in squares, but thank you for making sure I didn't go insane. And a secret I don't think I've told anybody since that camp, I had 2 instructors who could do 4 weeks of the camp. She was the last 4 weeks, so I think those are the ones I was going to go insane, and she was going to have a little bit more of a de-stressing capacity than my other instructor, who had a tendency to be as high-wired as me. Let's get anyone else. Casting over was left to like Mr. Knowlton. He started training with us. He trained actually with Master Pattern over at Chang's. Like, not to guess on you. Thank you. Mr. Knowlton, always being the highest level of respect. I met him when I was like 19 years old in my freshman year of college. He started training because his daughter started training. And I remember vividly like the amount of respect he gave me when I was training with him. And his martial arts was phenomenal. We were seeing, let's see,
Second.
got it. Yes, we were preparing for your third year test. Aha. But she was a phenomenal martial artist all the way through. And the thing about Mr. Knowlton is his character outside the martial arts world, also inside, but outside the martial arts world, if I could be 80% of that, that is who I would like to be. The example I'm going to give, because you don't know, I got engaged over a year ago. And by the way, you can applaud that. During that time, there was a lot of setup to how I was doing the proposal, and not a lot of people knew exactly what was going on. And so, of course, I'm walking around like the park nearby on the phone, and I'm calling because I just need to vent because anyone who did through such an experience, no matter how well it goes, the planning is stressful. And I remember calling him, something just seemed a little bit off in his tone. I think I was driving to and from like it was a Phillies game. And I found out 3 days later that he just got some challenge, like real challenging like family news that like he had every right to say, "I'm so sorry, sir. I got my own stuff right now. I can't do this." He stayed on the phone with me for an hour Well, I was venting about comparatively nothing. Didn't make it about him, didn't say what was going on, said nothing. And I would like to point out, I know most people in that situation would not have even picked up the phone, let alone Amber Someone's phone. And like to have that kind of care for just generally people in their world, that's such a huge thing that I want to embody. Mr. Giampietro, as you goes by his presentation, loves the MMA combat sports side of what we're doing. And what I love about him going through that journey is giving me an opportunity to over and over and over again, if somebody will sit there and be like, but what if, why is this working? What if this? Which is such a useful question. Because here's the thing. I am now teaching constantly. I don't have the time sometimes to ask these questions of myself. And the fact that he asked the question, to give an answer and to think about it, I have to become that. He's the only way. And last but certainly not least, Miss Hearn is by far. I'm not going to judge your applauses. Miss Hearn is genuinely one of the best martial arts instructors I've ever seen. Yes. She spent more time and effort into becoming a great instructor, and how much like her specialty is like she cares and connects with students in a way that like I thought was my superpower, but I don't even come close. And genuinely, the students are so much better for having her in the floor, having her do that, and the amount of pure growth and effort I've seen her go through over the past. Okay, depending on how we count 3 to 20 years, whatever, it's not actually 3 to 14 years, something like that, is truly phenomenal. And teaching is not easy. Teaching as a teenager is not easy. Running a class as a teenager is very not easy. Because it is especially different, because you don't have the benefit that Master Dinoto, when he walks into the room, 1, he has the word master, 2, to look the part a little bit easier than us when we're younger. When you were teaching me, you were still 20 years older, 30 years older, 40 years older. To students, it's like, oh, wait a second, I can imagine being you. That's a gift to those students. Doesn't always mean it comes out easy. This is a gift because I'm going to guess most of my students don't imagine themselves as myself. They definitely don't imagine themselves as Master Dinoto. I'm looking there. They're looking at his firm, his left arm. But the hard part is when you have that close connection and look. And of course, get the close connection and look. I would not dare to say some of the things to Master Dinoto that like I'll hear young students say when we're junior leaders or students. Really? But if I said that to Master Dinoto, I do think he would throw a stick in my face. That's not a joke, by the way. The reason why I'm so good at catch now, the doctors used to tell me I would never be able to catch a ball. I got good at catch. He threw sticks in my face. For my presentation, I'm going to demonstrate my form first. So you can talk for 60 minutes. 60 minutes at a shot. Of course, the testing boards are going to know the first of the 2 forms I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to demonstrate Chilsung Sarogya. So thank you for mentioning the Chilsung forms that a guy between Hansudo and white belt all the way up to 7th degree black belt. I would also like to point out, as Master Lashiaga has said over and over again, this one's called the young man's form. It involves many kicks, including some that jump and spin. So if you see me wince at any moment, that's because one of my legs is used to work, but I will get through this form, like over like rope. That might mean you're holding my leg, Master Klein.
That's fine.
Excellent. Out of curiosity, you just mentioned the length of the forms. Do you remember how many moves is in Chilsung Sarogya?
If I'm not mistaken, it's like 104.
That sounds correct. Chilsung Sarogya. I love this traditional martial arts, and I'm really deep into the history of it. And I want to give you a crash course in the history of traditional forms. Okinawan karate originally is being taught specifically for active self-defense and fighting. In all honesty, a lot of times it was being used by the people protecting the sake trade. And at that time in Okinawa, the version of karate, which doesn't have a name yet, that develops is basically being practiced by 8 people drinking the sake after they protected the sake trap. And so certain things looked a lot different. Then, the Second World War ends. After the Second World War, Japan is recreating its identity. They've got a national sport called judo, which has a lot of throws, grappling, and box. They see a boxing match, and now they're like in search of striking arts. Like the Japanese culture is like primed for it. And one of the people who actually was not native born to Okinawa, but who loved the martial art and been trained in it, decides to go for 3 days to Japan to share karate. He attempts to go for 3 days. He never leaves Japan. He never comes back to Okinawa. His name is Hishin Funakoshi. There's a problem. Hishin Funakoshi is creating and founding a new national sport in Japan, Shotokan. It is not being allowed by the Japanese powers that be to compete with judo. So now, first problem, all the grappling and joint locks start to get taken away. Second problem, we go from teaching 8 people in a language that they know to now they're starting to teach classes of 50 to 100. Or you learn from books. And for who here remembers the old books? 1-inch photo, black and white. Blurry. And this is where you start to hear sentences like, yes, just block the stick, their baseball bat with your arm. Because they're trying to teach at a distance that makes sense. The technique more actively with blocking the rest of the arm, but hey, you're going to swing at my head. Swing. Already, you got a great idea. This is a lot harder to see. It's just a reality. And so, a lot of that became lost. How does Tom Sudo fit this? I talked about Shotokan. The karate part of our root comes from Shotokan. Wang Ki took Shotokan, which he went to visit. If you look at the Chosun forms, you can also see Kung Fu is present. And the native martial art that was in Korea that was kick focused, Tekyon, which is why, unlike Shotokan, Kishin, Goju, our Kung Fu or Shabakdo is 60% kicks, 40% punches. Whereas in most karate systems, the more 40% or 60% punches, 40% kicks. A lot of these applications are lost. Mr. Knowlton showed us some really amazing Kung Fu applications. The other art I've been spending the most time working on is Kempo. Kempo is called American karate, not Korean karate, which is even more confusing because it comes from Kung Fu. In Kung Fu, you'll see that low stance. The tip is so great. Bonus points that I did that one first, and now I don't have to go to a low stance because my legs aren't working. Kempo stays higher, it flows more. And the way they think of it, I'm going to summarize what I learned from Hachi Cobra. It's called the SLAP principle. Speed, leverage, accuracy, and punctuation. Speed, leverage, accuracy, and punctuation. It does not mean there's no body movement. But where Kung Sudo is always focused on full extension of power. Kempo, if you watch for self-defense, is bum, bum, bum. I'm going to first put the form in the air. Because all the Kempo forms, because they are newer, also have the application of self-defense memorized. So at one point in Kempo, the test you would have literally 3,000 or so more self-defenses. They The numbers are like 2,000. The self-defense memorization is huge. How the heck is it called Tempo 6? Because it's 6 self-defenses put together. By the way, I should not right now is yelling at me for snacking during Tempo 4. It's a rumble. It's a rumble, Chloe. However, the self-defense are fast. Now, I'm going to show the whole series of self-defense. I'm going to break down each detail. It was really interesting in the fact that because self-defense is out, there's almost like a scientific and academic thing still going on. Everyone was trying because I know she wants to punch me in the face after that self-defense screen time. So 1, 2, 3, so big. So, that was fast, but how do you see not punching at 6 times? Pay attention to the keep the same amount of things. But the capital difference is they swing. I'm not here. Instead of the times you would boom, fully rotate this. The strike is present, but it's bop bop 1, 2. Both aiming for the jaw. Second position. Whoop. From here into the jaw. Boom, boom, boom. Block comes in. Touch. Hand comes up. From here, I'm going to slide right down the arm. Other side jaw. And I drop. Push. Keep going. Straight punch comes in. I pull back. Straight 1, 2. This hand's going to grab. It also rotates the arm up as I elbow. Broken arm 1. Drop down. Elbow to face. They punch me again. Bad choice. Remember that this Milton called this the crane? Called the mattress. I was taught as the crane. It's the thing. Boom. Palm to the face. And it's a strike. Down. And Roundhouse punch number 2. Tag, tag again. Strike to the body. Up. Drop. Swing one more time. Stop. Round. Up. Yes, sir. I'm going to leave you with each application in the form. One, a lot of this becomes a personal pursuit. There's a lot of details of it. Hey, this is exactly what was done. People will give you reasons, but the chain is broken somewhere. And so now we're all going to find a reason. I got to find a use for this. There are 3 general levels of that demonstration. First one is what most beginners learn. A block is a block. Huh! I'm blocking a punch. Here's the thing. Huh, block, and would ever watch someone in a fight. How often do you see them stay here for long? It's present. But it's not the only use of that move. Remember the block related to grappling stuff that's taken away? This is important. Anyone else want to punch me? Deity, it's you.
Hold on to your tree.
Grab my wrist.
Hold on to your tree.
Remember the block means. First release. Swing here. Wait a second. Traditional chamber. My traditional chamber is 1, 2. Another level closer. And then a lot of things also have a third layer. A layer that is a takedown, a throw, and grab. How good are your break holds today?
Good, sir.
Excellent! We're not going to do this at speed. I do not practice. Step and punch. One of the applications of the spear hand is that strike the gut. Another application is the throw. With the timing as that punch is coming in, off angle. Yeah. Now you know what I'm going to do so I don't tear the death again. Punch. Go 1, 2. And the spear is out and dry.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
So for board breaking, we have to tighten it up just a little bit. First, just one board break for everybody.
Sir.
Okay. So we'll do this. Mr. Klein, can you hold? Mr. Dash, you want to come out? Maybe
Yes,
hold
sir.
for a little bit. Mr. Knowlton, come on up, please. Pick whatever break that you like.
Yes.
Okay. What
You want in front. You want.
Yeah, I'm on.
Mr. Giampietro, come on, please.
Put that like a. What would you like to
You
do?
can do as many boards or as little boards as you like.
Elbow strike.
Mr. Giampietro, Ms. Hearn. Mr. McGill, you okay to do your break?
I like to do it once now.
What would you like to do?
Two.
Okay. That's one you want. That's fine. Any other testers? You can come on up on the white dots, right, please.
Sir.
Give these guys some good energy.
Yeah, just very quickly, guys, amazing job. Well done, well done. And you got to be proud of yourselves. So very, very proud of you guys. Well done.
Anything else from testing?
I just want to say, yeah, little comments still.
Yeah, you're
Bloody like the wind.
Okay. All right. Testers.
Yes, sir.
My coach says, he used to say when Mr. McGill was coming in out of the parking lot, he should look out the window and go, oh no, it's Colin McGill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Probably under.
Get it!
Hooray! Give the guys some energy. Continue on. It's Master GMP choke. Give us some good energy. Get together, hands aside, chin up back straight, pressing forward.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Oh, yeah, senior, that wasn't up there. I'm way at the end.
There we go. Get over here. There you go. There you go.
Chin it!
Hey, seven in, kick her in.
Samina, Suma!
Good. Face the audience. Chin it! Get together, hands aside, chin up back straight, good curly bow. And we're going to say Tong Su. Ready? Tong Su! Good job. Give this guy some good energy. I need full name as you want on your belts.
No middle initials.
No, we don't like it.
They don't.
Master and last name how you want to pronounce. Whatever your last name is spelled, that's what we're going to put on there. And let me know if you want, of course, English and Korean. Over there. I need that and the size of your belts. Okay, and the size of your belts. That's a must. Once they're done, they're done. Okay, so I need that written out, and then if there's any fees or anything like that, you can see Mr. McGill and we lay that. Okay,
Sir.
Cheer it. And now, hooray! Tosa!
Yes. All right, guys, we're gonna get a picture real fast.
Yes.
Photo. Okay, good. So everyone come right over here. So we have the testers, the candidates that just tested right in front, and we'll all be behind you guys.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. And once you get the picture, make sure you share it as soon as possible on social. Everyone squeeze in, of course. Nothing gets personal, but those of you that are short.
That's right.
Yes. All right. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. All right. We're good? Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome job as always.
Thank you so much.
You holding there. Come on. I can't even tell you. Probably close to like 6 months. Just leading up to the 5th grade. I learned to score that way. I was feeling like month before, I was like, let me try the green board. Held it before bringing it. I'm like, I'm here. I'm here on Wednesday 6:30, and then Friday I'm here, and then Saturday I'm here. Sometimes 3 days. You know, I'll be training around the house. Oh, guys, she's not fighting. He'll be like,
Let's make sure it's safe.